Tonight, it's part 2 of our News 4 investigation into deadly mistakes and the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board.
Last night, you heard from the sole survivor of a horrific and brutal attack, leaving 3 others dead in Chickasha.
That man released from prison less than 3 weeks before. Tonight, the reason behind that release and how it could affect not only current victims of violent crimes, but anyone who may become one in the future.
My name is Haley Blankenship. I am Andrea Blankenship's daughter. She was super resilient, very kind. She wore her heart on her sleeve.
Andrea was just 41 years old when a stranger, just weeks out of prison, forced his way into her Chickasha home, killed her, then carved out her heart. Police say Lawrence Anderson then went down the street to his uncle's house and attacked his own family members, brutalizing them with such force, his elderly aunt was left blind in one eye. His uncle and 4-year-old cousin did not survive.
God didn't do this, the devil did it, and we got to get it straightened out. Because that shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have been out.
Delcy Pye still can't believe her nephew was even out of prison. He had been serving a 20-year sentence, but was suddenly set free earlier this year. You still think it's wrong he was let out?
Yeah. 20-year sentence, 3 years.
Only 3 years served on a 20-year sentence.
The system is what did it. He shouldn't have been out.
Anderson had been in prison twice before. The first time for pointing a gun at his girlfriend, and the second for selling crack cocaine near an elementary school. He applied for commutation in July 2019. It was denied, but Anderson was back on the docket 3 months later, and by January 2020, the Pardon and Parole Board recommended commutation to Governor Kevin Stitt, and Stitt approved it.
They're supposed to first look at the criminal history of the offender.
Payne County District Attorney Laura Thomas is livid. She never prosecuted Anderson, but she's often up against the same Pardon and Parole Board that recommended his release.
They're not listening to victims, and they don't want to hear them. They're not listening to prosecutors, and they refer to us as barbarians.
He shouldn't have been able to go up for commutation because of his criminal record. They let him out, released him early, and then 3 weeks later, he murdered his own family and my mom.
I'm Pam Carter. I'm the daughter of Gay Carter.
In 1998, Gay Carter was stabbed to death by inmate John Grant. Carter was a cafeteria worker at the Dick Connor Correctional Facility near Hominy.
I was working the day she was killed.
Grant had been serving time for 3 robberies with firearms. One of his last crimes would be stabbing the 58-year-old mother to death with a shank.
I was there and I saw Mom on the ground, but I got to say, Mom, I love you. I got to holler, Mom, I love you, you know, before I had to get out of the way.
Grant was executed last month, but before that, he'd sought clemency from the Pardon and Parole Board. And despite his history of violence while in prison, 2 board members voted in favor of his clemency, Kelly Doyle and Adam Luck.
My name is Kelly Doyle.
This is video of Doyle speaking during an Oklahoma Justice Reform webinar last year. And here she is, explaining how she filled a vacant seat on the board.
I applied for the parole board, and it was kind of a joke. I was like, why would they ever pick someone like me who you know, is such an advocate for people coming home and an advocate for decreasing the number of people that we have in prison, because we are over-incarcerating in this state.
There's been controversy about Doyle's position on the board, coupled with her employment helping newly released inmates find jobs. In question is a conflict of interest, as demonstrated in this 2019 speaking engagement.
Does your organization receive any state funding?
So we have a federal pass-through grant through the Department of Human Services, and then we also have a contract that we were awarded prior to me getting on the board.
Grady County District Attorney Jason Hicks.
That's a privately run program. I would be a whole lot more comfortable with the Department of Corrections having the programs inside the prisons And before somebody is eligible for parole, before they're released, they successfully completed the programs that have been deemed necessary for that offender.
Run by the state and not privately?
Yes.
And why is that?
I think there's a fairly big incentive for somebody that's in private industry just to kind of move them along to make their, I guess to pad their statistics. And I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but the incentive is there so that they continue to get the paycheck and have more and more people coming in.
That alleged conflict of interest was shot down when the Oklahoma Supreme Court rejected a request to remove Doyle from the board.
So then you get to this Pardon and Parole Board who's making blatant partisan comments and taking positions that are not within the mission, the stated mission of the Pardon and Parole Board, but a politically active position.
In emails between Doyle and other board members, Doyle states she does not believe victims of violent crimes or prosecutors should be heard at Pardon and Parole Board hearings.
We cannot protect the public when this is allowed to occur and the public does not understand what's happening.
And even Doyle herself admits there are problems with the commutation process.
Now, everybody is applying for a commutation. So the problem is that the commutation process, one, is not designed for this type of numbers. Two, what I get in a first stage commutation is a handwritten account by the person who's incarcerated. I have no verification of what they're telling me is accurate. I have no verification of whether their crime and sentence are what they are. They just scan them, upload them, send it to me, and I have to vote yes or no in the first stage of whether we think that this deserves a second look. And in the second stage, we'll get the investigator's report.
But that's not always accurate either. During the second stage of death row inmate Julius Jones's case, an investigator missed 3 misconducts, including a positive drug test, lying about his violent past, and using another inmate's PIN number to make phone calls. According to this longtime defense attorney, the fact that Jones still received a commutation hearing sets a new precedent.
If I have a parole hearing coming up 6 or 8 months from now and they say, hey, Irvin, we can't hear this guy, he's had a misconduct back whenever, I said, well, what about Julius Jones? He's had 3 misconducts and he got a hearing.
Oh, I don't think there's any question that it's opened up a can of worms. It's going to put more work on the parole board. It's going to put more work on investigators with the Department of Corrections. It's going to put more work on the district attorneys, and it's going to put more stress onto the families of the loved ones who have been murdered.
My whole life has changed. I'm completely different. I did trauma therapy.
It's been real hard. I can't sleep at night.
Their mission is to reduce Oklahoma's prison populations. They don't really care how they get there.
The Pardon and Parole Board also recommending clemency for Bigler Stouffer, who is set to be executed on December 9th. A federal judge denying his request for a stay of execution earlier today. Attorney General John O'Connor responding in part saying the board's decision was, quote, improperly based on whether an inmate will suffer pain during an execution. This concern is not a concern for the Pardon and Parole Board. Instead, it is a concern of the courts. The courts have spoken. Our request to the Pardon and Parole Board for an on-camera interview went unanswered.